Hello again. I was interrupted by a phone call. I don't know, everything stopped in the video. I already had 11 minutes recorded. I hope I can name this video number 2B. So you gotta watch video number 2A. I was saying that it was very hard for me to go to the climate march. And a few things that I made a comment about. You gotta hear that. So, but I wanted to, I was saying that I wanted to get to the root of the problem, because we see here privileged people and enablers. And it's been bothering me a lot because of what I've been reading about all the Potesta emails, number 20, that is full and full of terrible corruption. And I wanted to get to the root of that, you see, because there are people that are enablers and peoples with privilege, but not people that have money. Those are not the privilege that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the privilege that are given to those people that have the power to turn life upside down. Because really, when you speak the truth, you are thrown in a pit of hell and let you to die. That's what happening to me for the last 14 years. So that's what I was talking about. But I just gonna mention, like I said in the other video, the miracle and not the saint. So I wanted to go deep into that, right? The privilege, okay? Why? Because I want to go to the main, let's say, institution that have the power to make things or not. Simple as that. Where do you go when you have a problem? When you have a problem, you address those government institutions that are there to solve your problem. But it doesn't depend on them. But they have to do a report for you to continue. What happened to me is every time that I have a problem or I had a problem, I used to do what any lawful citizen do. You do and you follow the law. What happened? When you get to the state attorney's office, they don't even give you the papers sometimes for you to fill out and talk about your problem. Because they say you don't have a report. And without a report, we cannot do anything. It happened, I think the day before yesterday, in a Hispanic channel, Pedro said that he talks about the problem that the condominiums have been having right here in Miami. And how the state attorney's office wasn't doing anything. Fortunately, you're welcome. They're doing something. But the saying here in Miami-Dade County, under the regime that we've been living here, is that they cannot investigate anything. But what do? Oh, they talk to you. And they want to know what you know. So they evaluate. But they don't evaluate for your well-being. They evaluate how to cover themselves. Yeah, that's have been my story every time. And the latest one was 2014 with the election. Not only I contacted all the commissioners, not only I talked to the mayor, Mayor Jimenez. No, I didn't have to talk to City of Miami Mayor, Miami Regalado, because Miami Regalado knows about my problem before he was even a mayor. So is his daughter. But I did let them know. Then I went to the state attorney's office. I did go there, and I did speak on Mundo Max that interviewed me at the election office in Doral. Of course, that interview, nobody saw it. What I stated there in that interview that day is what I told that the state attorney's office needed to investigate. And like that, I have gone there with every problem I had. And what did they say to me? We cannot investigate because there is not a report. How are we going to investigate if you don't have a report? But then nobody gave me a report. I go and try to report it. But, like Howard Finkelstein said in WSBN, he said, when they tell you that's a civil problem, you tell them no. You tell them that they have to do a report. Well, I mentioned that in several occasions, if it's not all. I say, it doesn't matter if it's a civil problem. I want you to do a report for me. They won't do a report. And the few reports, 2 of them, I think, that I was able to make, the last one on April 18, I didn't go and get that one because the previous one, when I go and try to get them, they're lost. They're not there. I don't know what happened. They're not there. So that's the root of the problem. Those are the privileged people with immunity to tell ordinary average citizens, we cannot help you. So if they are the maximum authority, right? And they cannot help us, where do we go? It doesn't happen. They don't do that to lawyers. They don't do that to family of the people that do the report. They don't do that to the media. No. They don't investigate claims of average people. And average people, you are listening to me. If it didn't happen to you already, it's going to happen to you. And what's going to happen to you is what is happening to me. And probably many, many, many thousands of you out there already are enduring the pain that I'm enduring right now. So, let me tell you, this election cycle, we gotta shake the tree. But to shake the tree, we have to drain the swamps. It's not only the Congress. We have to drain every swamp in every state. Okay? Because I have gone to talk to most of the candidates that are up now for election. I have gone to talk to the old ones, and nothing gets done because the sponsors The sponsors are the one in charge. They're not. And who do the sponsors work for? The lobbyists? The privileged people? We go back again. Who are these privileged people? The people who are in charge. The people that have enablers that give them immunity to say no to you. Like the Ethics Commission. The City of Miami Ethics Commission. What do the Ethics Commission do? They cannot even do a report with me. Because I have to have a report. I have to bring proof. So what do they investigate? If I bring all the proof, what are they going? Not even bringing the proof. You know? They try to make you think that you're crazy. Why? Because they're privileged. So because you work for the government, you work in the city of Miami, so you're privileged. You have enablers that make you think that you're privileged because you're not. Because one day, when you're not useful anymore, you're not going to be privileged anymore. And you're going to be in my situation. I repeat, no one is untouchable. And I'm suffering. I'm suffering a lot. There is a lot that I want to talk. And I'm going to talk from the beginning to this date. As long as I'm as the people responsible for stopping me from talking, causing me sleep deprivation, torturing me, because that's torture. Okay? Because that affects all my body, that damage all my body, and it's killing me slowly. And I have hard evidence to prove all my allegations. Also, I want to say that this is my First Amendment, and this is what I want to say. It's due to my research and my own views. But this is the way it goes. That's the way it is. And I opt to challenge anyone that want to, that want to say different. In 2012, I think Joe Carrillo, one of Miami person who is very caring for people, for young persons that, that get, that disappear and things like that. He do a lot of good job for the community. He denounced his post absentee ballot corruption, fraud. I think it was in 2012. And what he went through was horrendous. The state attorney's office even took his computer. I had the opportunity to speak to him. And because of his exposure, and because he said where he went to report the absentee ballot fraud, which was to the anti-corruption unit, and he mentioned the location, I was able to go and do a report as well. But I called and I was rerouted to other places. I walked to places trying to find out where is the location for the anti-corruption unit. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. Thanks to him and the information in the newspapers and on television, I was able to go there and turn my report, my claim. Till this day, nobody have contacted me. And that's the story of my life. I have done my part. That's all I can do, my part. Nothing has been done, nothing has been investigated, nothing has been even been passed to the state attorney's office. And when you reach the state attorney's office, get stuck in there. So that was one thing that I wanted to mention. The other thing I wanted to mention is here in Miami we have another person that report a lot of corruption. It's called Al Crespo, and he, I subscribe to his email letters, which I'm able to receive now. Of course, I never received it before. I don't think he had it before, but before I couldn't even read his the things that he writes. So, but he writes a lot. It's called Crespogram, and I see that he reports a lot of corruption. And where does it go? Nowhere. I'd never see an investigation going through, unless it is that, something that is so obvious that it was on television, that, also, or when it gets to people dying. Nothing else happened. So, what happened to the average citizen in Miami-Dade County? You have to be privileged. And I'm going to call it that. Privileged whisperers, I like to call it. So they know that I know who they are. But like I say, the miracle, not the saint. Yeah, that's how, that's how things go here. Nothing gets done. Nothing gets done. So how many people hurting out there? A lot. A lot. They want our vote. They want our vote when the election comes. But we have seen many elections come by. And what? Have we solved anything? When are we going to resolve the problems? That's another shocking thing today, besides the New York Times that I mentioned in my video 2A, the one previous to this one. The other thing was the UN. The UN selecting more people now for the torture panel. How long, how many centuries that the humanity have to endure loss of lives for a solution to come by? What do they say? They mentioned let me see if I can remember. I wrote it here, I think. They say either they say they investigate or they say constructive work. Through constructive work, they find solutions. Or they try to find solution, because there's no solution. The killing keeps going. And it's very painful. It's very painful that the very institutions in this country that I love so much, and that have done great job before, they have turned into just investigating. And then those journalists that are passionate about their jobs, that really wants to investigate, that really want answers. I mean, sometimes I think it's like a bad joke. You have people in those institutions earning a lot, excruciating salaries, and they cannot even answer your question? No, they can't. So, what do the average citizens need to do to be heard? Well, let's try to shake the tree this election cycle. Let's see if they understand that we all want to be heard. They understand that we know that they are not hearing us, that we want to have a voice. Like I always say, I want a voice. Give me a voice. Let me tell my grievances. If I am wrong, well, tell me I'm wrong. But if I can prove that I'm wrong, please help me find a solution. Politics without values are gibberish. We don't want that. We want people that care for our community. We want politicians that have compassion. We want workers in our government that have compassion for those that are not privileged. For those average citizens that want prosperity and that want a peaceful life. So, there is something to think about when we go and vote. Because believe me, if we don't do it, don't expect yet these politicians to do it for us. Don't. I wanted to say, because I wanted, no, I'm not going to explain that now. Well, I explained a lot. Let me see what else I wanted to say. The New York Times I already spoke about. The nasty woman hashtag. It is appalling that people are saying nasty woman united. What is that? Is that how we want our daughters to grow up to be nasty women? That's horrendous. It really shocked me when I saw that hashtag and so many people, applauding that. That's horrendous. We don't want nasty women. We want women with values. Those values to be passed through our children with courage, with morals. I don't want anybody to be nasty to me. Why would anybody like to be nasty to other people? I mean, having power in your convictions and be hard, fighting for what you believe, for your ideals. You don't have to be nasty for that. But people do anything to get notoriety. That's why I have my pin in my Twitter. Because that lady wanted notoriety. She's not even voting for the party she was affiliated to for so many years. So what she wanted, what she went to there to talk, to get notoriety. That's all. Why I didn't speak about Donna Brazil. Yes, she did something wrong. But the way I see it is like Bernie Sanders. They have a long history of being loyal, of working for something that they believe. And, it's hard sometimes. Like I said, when you get into that web, it's very hard. Very hard to realize that everything that you have done have been very, very wrong. So, but you see, it's different when you try to get notoriety, when you try to get, enraging, when you enrage people into a narrative that doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. I'm not saying that it was wrong, the action that she criticized. Yes, of course it is. I am a woman. I feel for those that are hurt, but not to go to, those lengths. I think it is very vulgar. I think we as women are smart enough to find another approach, you know, on the law, on the legal actions, on the things that we have to do to prove that we are right. We got power. We are being empowered by the freedoms of this country. The last thing I wanted to mention is that I wanted you to know what kind of person I am. I study economy. I came from Cuba when I was 24 years old. I used to work in a newspaper when I arrived here, so I know about newspapers a lot. And I was a little bit of a rebel. And I left the newspaper for those reasons, because I have conviction and I have ideals and I have values. I'm not perfect, far from that. But, also, I used to work for the Doral mayor, Luigi Boria, when he was just an entrepreneur and he has his office here. He was just, came from Venezuela. I used to work for him. So I'm not an individual that is not prepared or that not have condition for the task that I, wanted to attain in the commission of Miami-Dade County. So I want you to know that. I want you to know also that my uncle in Cuba was a political prisoner. He was a general with Prio, I think it was Prio Socarras. First he was a police chief, so I know about that too. And then he went up to a general. And then he was in prison for 8 years. We used to bring in things to the jail for a long time. I was a little girl. I want you to ask yourself, why? Why I'm not in the list of the organization for political prisoners for families here in Miami. I don't know why. I think I applied twice. So this is how things go. And this is how my life is being. Isolation, more isolation, ruin. My life has totally been ruined. Everything that I worked so hard for have been taken from me with corruption. Nothing I've been able to do about it. I went to the small claim court, I think in 2010. I didn't win, of course. I knew I wasn't going to win. But I tried to make a point. So, a fighter. And I will keep up my hope, and I keep up myself the best as I can. I think I did a list. Yes, I did a list, because if this video can go out there, I think I spoke twice in Periscope. I have not even been able to upload it to YouTube. So if you don't see anything upload here or there, it's not because of my will of doing it. It's just because I can't do it. And that's one of the human rights that has been violated. Having me cut off from the world, which I am, because having no contact from anyone, not even to tell you, I don't like you. That's horrible. And everybody contact everybody on the internet. Why? I have no responses. So I wanted to mention this. Very important individuals. Please, if you hear this, or anybody that hears this, convey my message to them. That I want them to reach out to me, to call me. I need to speak to them urgently. Government accountability is one. Peter Schweitzer, no, I don't know if he's the one from Accountability Project or Accountability for the Government only, but either way, both organizations, I want to talk to them. I said that I already spoke to candidates. The other person is Catherine Gallagher. He's a senior attorney at the International Human Rights, at the Center for Constitutional Rights. The other person is those at the Institute for Justice, national lawyer firm that is for liberty. The other ones are U.S. Human Rights. I want also to contact me, Jamil Dakwar. He's the director for ACLU in New York. I cannot get in touch. I have tried very hard, and I have gone to many of the meetings. I spoke to Nathan, no last names. He's a privacy attorney and not able to do anything. So perhaps Jamil can guide me, or, because he was a former director or something from Human Rights Watch. So the other one is Kenneth Roth. He's an executive director at Human Rights Watch. There are many other people. If I miss somebody, you can go and see who I follow. Those that I follow, I have been reaching out to them. Please contact me back. My Twitter account is Meadows_Marine without the without the A for Marina. So Meadows_Marine, please. Or you can go to my other Twitter account, My Campaign 2014. So either of those, you can contact me if you cannot reach me on the phone, which my phone is everywhere. The other person is Jay Sekulow, Chief Counsel, Defending Liberty and Free Speech. The other organization is called Expose the Facts. I think I was able to reach somebody there like months ago, nothing back. The UN Women, United Nations Women, I wrote to them. Well, I have written to Human Rights, I have sent a lot of packages, everything you can think of, I have done to try to reach them, nothing back. I want the Human Rights First, which is the organization located in Washington. I want Ron Paul Institute for Peace and Prosperity to contact me also, please. I want the High Commissioner for Human Rights Watch. I want Jeffrey Light. He defend civil rights and liberty in Washington. Well, I know it's too much to ask, but please, If there are any emails there that is referring to me, and since these liquid are coming out, my tragedy has been for the 14 year. I think that perhaps, I deserve a little somebody throwing me a bomb, you know, like those emails that get, somewhere. Or, you know, people in Fox News that have changed a lot. I mean, many of the Fox News journalists, they're very good journalists. They have their ideology, and they have their, how can I say, mandate from their channels and all that. But, I would love to keep exposing my situation. So, if, I will take anything I can, because here in Miami, unfortunately, I can reach anyone. So there is a list of you. I have been contacting many of them, and many more through the years. Lawyer is impossible, because since my protest also covered things that were done wrong by many lawyers. Perhaps, there is a covenant or something impeding them um, to help. I don't know what to think. I was told that regarding doctors when I had my first son, something was wrong with my C-section, and I was told that not to say anything, because then we get in a bad, how can you say, in the wrong side of the health. So I remain quiet, and I haven't been able to fix what they did to me since then, because my life had gone. It wasn't my priority at the time. Then I have 2 more kids, and so. But if it's like that, then I'm in a terrible spot. So I really need some help from people that are, that are having convictions, and that are having powerful moral values, that can help me regain my normal life, my liberty, and my civil rights, and my human lives. Because literally, I have no life. I have no life. I don't do what everybody does, because I am most of the time somnambula, deprived from a good rest. So all I can do is whatever I can do with, with little of thinking. So I just exist, and I've been existing for 14 years. And that's very tragic. Very tragic. So I think that's giving you some light on my situation, which is a crime. I believe it's a terrible crime that has been committed towards myself and my family. I believe it was a retaliation for exposing corruption. And this has to end. We have to be able, because it was never my intention to do anything harsh for anyone. I was even told and advised by people in the law profession to, to write to them, to the state what we're doing wrong, and to, you know, and to protest. So I did the best I could, and this cannot happen. This cannot happen in our communities. We have to be able to express. We don't even have to. We don't even need to get to the extent of having to go to the length of protesting. We can have a conduit to state our grievances, but with no repercussions and with solutions. And that's the real prosperity in a community, when you can find solutions. Well, thank you so much for everybody that's listening to me. It means a lot to me. And I take every moment that I can, that I'm able to express myself, to communicate, so everybody know that I'm still existing here. Thank you very much, and please share my video so I find a solution to my tragedy, so I can help others, and so we learn from this, so nobody ever get hurt again like I've been getting hurt. So let's keep on working, and let's keep on fighting to always be free. It's the only thing that matters. Our power, our will, our freedom.